I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Cause are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light? Which one is it, bro? Which one is it, bro? Cause I did a shoe giveaway in my city and gave out 1,300 pairs of your shoes because they said reform underneath them. And I love that you partnered with a major shoe company and you out here pushing prison reform. But now I gotta sit here like, man, this man glorifying getting people killed as of a week ago. Like, what are you doing, bro? Lil Snoop really got killed.
So, obviously, you say something like that. You know Rick Ross, he gonna respond to something to everybody.
Yeah.
And then, but the point is, he brings up a really good point, because how can you say you love the community and you do all these things for the community, but you also feed their brains with toxic material?
Thank you for watching the Young Black Press. Please remember to hit like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to
Welcome back.
Welcome back, I guess. If it's your first time, welcome to our channel. Go ahead and hit the like button, comment, share, and
subscribe.
I'm your boy, Mr. Define.
And I'm your girl, Tris.
And we are Black Press. So, we're going to hit you quick with it today. We're going to get you started off with a nice laugh. As this, apparently, I thought it was just like the music that was making us kind of wretched. But apparently, you don't even have to hear the music and be involved in the way the culture has changed. So, yeah, it's not your sound. She really doesn't have any sound.
Yeah, even when her doing all that, I can see the way she's saying.
I guess she's a social media influencer, content creator, and she be arguing with people. I'm just gonna watch it again. I'm just gonna watch it one more time. One more time.
I gotta brush up on my sign language. This is fun day.
She is really cussing them out. Stop watching her if you don't like it. So,
oh man,
that is that's not right. Why you look?
It is
why
funny.
You laugh? I think she knows it's funny. It's
Yeah.
gotta be. But
so she real serious?
I don't know. I think yes, actually. So on a negative note, even though that part was funny, I just saw another video of her though. She just got into a fight with one of her best friends.
Aww.
Yeah, and she lost.
Oh, she
had bruises and wrapped on her fingers and everything. And then she did another video where she was stabbing the cake at her because she went to her best friend's birthday or something. And apparently she got into a really big argument.
You're awful.
She got in an argument, and you would think somebody that's so good with their hands wouldn't lose. Wouldn't lose in a fight, but I guess she got hands, but not for fighting.
Only for sign language.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, shout out to her. Hope she heals up better.
14.
Yeah. So the music ain't the only thing that's making us ratchet.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You can pick it up different ways. That's what I said. Like,
hey, I guess she was influenced by the vibrations of the beat. Some people say they just listen to it for the beat.
Yeah.
She just does it for the beat, and it gives her that kind of influence. But anyway, so the next thing, have you heard? So Christian's Rock's Blueface, his mom came out with a statement today or yesterday as this airs, but that pretty much saying stop blaming her. It reminds me
for her son.
Yeah, for any of her sons, because another one of her sons ended up having some issues, and she had a statement to say on live, and I just we just talk about it on the back end.
Blaming me like, oh, you raised them like this. Bitch, no. Jesus had 12 disciples and a couple of them motherfuckers fell off track. Okay, you're not finna blame me. I was there. I did my bid. I did everything I needed to do, nigga. I could have caught cases and some more shit behind that motherfucker. No, sir. I don't owe you shit else. Get it from your wife. Okay? Y'all robbing motherfuckers together. Get it from each other, okay? Figure it the fuck out. That's my stance on it. Don't come over here and don't put me in no more motherfucking post talking about Carlissa's kids. Jesus had 12 motherfucking disciples and all them motherfuckers fucked up. Don't try to blame that shit on me. I ain't never cheat on my husband. My husband ain't never cheated on me. We don't know what the fuck they going through or what the fuck they talking about. No, ma'am, we didn't do no shit like that. We don't do no shit like that up over here. I'm off at the college house. This motherfucker ain't never cussed and did no disrespectful shit ever in life. Not suspended, not expelled, not kicked off a bus, not kicked out of the auditorium, not kicked out of shit to all of a sudden he calling his mom bitches and hoes. Somebody done body snatched them bitches. Them is not my kids. Them is not the motherfuckers I raised. Them is not the motherfuckers that watch me get up and go to work every motherfucking day tired as fuck. Waking me up talking about they hungry. Bitch, you are 16. Get in the kitchen and make some cereal, a sandwich, and do something. Why the fuck you waking me up?
But I'm hungry. Get one meal.
No, somebody body snatch. Somebody out here body snatching kids. Them is not my motherfucking kids. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That motherfucker had a transplant or something in that jailhouse right before he left out. Them is robots. Them is not my motherfucking kids. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Now the comedy shit they say, that's all me. I did fuck them up making some stupid jokes growing up. That's all me. But all that horny shit of running them from this bitch to that bitch, no, I didn't do that. I had a sugar daddy and a baby daddy. That's what it was. That's what it was. Okay? Now I don't know what the fuck they doing. So stop blaming me for that shit.
Didn't she just say that she never cheated on her husband and her husband never cheated on her?
They gotta remember that bipolar craziness.
No, but if that, how did she have a sugar daddy and a baby daddy? If she never cheated on her husband and her husband never cheated on her,
maybe she has her husband and then her baby's daddy. Her husband was a sugar daddy. Something that nature.
Okay.
I give it a benefit of the doubt.
I'm not taking no more responsibility, no. Check they motherfucking, unzip they hair, they skull, see if some sixes in that bitch or something. Them is not my motherfucking kids. I don't care what nobody say. They was scared of me growing up. I could look at them motherfuckers with that look and they was straight and upright. Them motherfuckers is looking back at me with a different kind of look, okay? Them is not my motherfucking kids. I don't care what nobody say. We in Walmart, you know what I'm saying? Dre, you gotta kind of look at him like, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Callie, you like, put this shit down. Blue, you like, baby, put that down. Now it's flipped all the way around. I gotta look at Blue like I'm the devil. And he acting like the goddamn devil. I wouldn't take them motherfuckers in no Walmart.
So,
don't believe Blue.
But if you raise a child in violence, what you think gonna happen? You telling them, MF and come here and shut the F up and etc.
You raise them with an aggressive mentality.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that on my way to class today. But it was something else I was thinking about, just the aggression. When you put aggression in them, eventually the aggression is gonna have to come back out. But even still, like, I mean, there's a lot of us that was raised with aggressive parents, but and it was because of them trying to discipline us, and everybody didn't turn out like that.
It's inside of you, though. Like, whenever.
So you got it inside of you too?
Yeah. Whenever I get mad, I'm a whole different. Somebody.
Yeah,
it's a whole different person. But I think like whenever you get like real aggressive with your children, you have to like kind of um temper back because what you put out there is what you're gonna get back.
Yeah, but I don't know, and that could be true, but also at the same time, everybody's kids don't end up like that, and a lot of kids been disciplined like that,
Mhm.
especially from our generation
Yeah.
and before us. That they grew up like that, where you knew better not to say the wrong thing to your mama because there's gonna be some consequences. I think, but to me, I think the one thing that they have grown up with that we didn't was like yesterday's episode
Mm.
was we were saying that like the music that we was listening to on the radio
Mhm.
was it was not explicit.
Yeah.
It was PG-13,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
wasn't explicit because we weren't exposed to a lot of stuff that the kids are exposed to now.
That's true. And I'll tell you a story. Like when I was younger, that you remember the LL Cool J song,
Mm-hmm.
"Doing It."
Yeah.
I didn't understand what that song was until I was way older. Like I
Yeah.
heard the song and I loved the
Yeah.
song when I was younger. I had
And
no
doing it,
clue
and doing it.
what it was
Yeah.
about. And I remember like um I had relatives that they were listening to it
Mm-hmm.
and I heard them listening to it and they got in trouble with it because they wasn't supposed to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know? 'Cause we got in trouble for listening to those
Exactly.
songs.
And
It doesn't happen nowadays. It
mm-hmm.
just, oh, turn that up. That's my song.
Yeah, and they don't care how explicit it is.
Yeah.
They just playing it, and then the kids are singing it. So what you're doing is, one side of you is saying respect me, and the other side is saying you can listen to this music that's disrespectful to all women.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not
And
gonna say because I listen to that music too, but I don't listen to it with my kids in the car.
And the difference
I
is
listen to it by myself.
exactly the difference is you were listening. When we listen to the music as adults,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't affect us the same way as it does the children.
Yeah.
Especially in the adolescent ages, is when your synaptic nerves are starting to solidify.
Mm-hmm.
So they starting to get lignated around them to where what you know and what's embedded in you
Mm-hmm.
is starting to pretty much solidify, and it takes a lot to have to change it. But when when your brain is creating those nerves that are actually solidifying,
Mm-hmm.
it's absorbing and bringing and keeping in memory, strong memory, what you've been absorbing and what you're currently absorbing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that happens at the adolescent age. So if you're being exposed to that from childhood growing up, and then when your brain synapses are solidifying and lignating, then it's more permanent.
Yeah.
When we were listening to it, and when we weren't listening to it, but were able to start listening to it as we grew older, we had already had a lot of things instilled in us that were more on the straight and narrow. So by the time we was able to listen to that type of music, we already had it in brain or drilled into our brain and solidified that this is how you act.
Yeah.
So although I can identify with that music, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the way I'm going to go. Because like I was saying, I knew by the time I started listening to that music, I knew my daddy would knock me out before he let me go down that path.
Yeah.
So I think that's the bigger issue, is because now kids are listening to it at such a young age
Mm-hmm.
that it is who they are by the time they turn 13, 18.
And then not only that, not everybody has like both parents that's active in their life or like a role model or somebody that they can look up to.
But like she was saying, if her and her husband were still together, that mean the kids grew up with both parents in the household.
That's what I was saying. If you have both parents in the household, sometimes one of those parents are there, but they're present, but they're absent at the same time.
I think, but I don't. So then, but that could be saying you can add that in there,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true.
It can be a factor.
It can be a factor.
Yeah.
But it's still proven that. So it's proven that a male in the household reduces the chances of a child ending up in prison,
as long as they're on the straight and narrow.
No.
If that male's in the household and they're like an alcoholic, they smoke, they drink, different things, then
no, still
they're not gonna fare off well.
I disagree based off of actual personal experience.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just gonna say based off of personal experience
Mm-hmm.
and what I know and what it's not that it's still a male being in a household. It still increases the chance of success than with no male in the household.
It is.
So yeah, I think what we allow into our household is what helps in determining what kind of child that person's going to be. Like she said, she dropped her son off at college, and he wasn't doing none of that.
Yeah.
And then soon as she took the reins off of him, he went out and did everything.
So
And kids do that, but it depends on what's ingrained in them
yeah.
to determine how they're going to turn.
And if to say that is to also say that children, their minds aren't developed well enough to make their own choices and decisions once they turn 18.
They're not. Your brain isn't fully mature until past 25.
24, 25.
It just went up to 25.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
That's bad.
In the last year or so. So, yeah, 25 years old is when your brain is actually fully developed.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to go be an adult at 18.
Yeah.
So
you shouldn't really make decisions.
Yeah, but I ain't taking care of no kid at 25. Let's stay in college. I know.
You're supposed to. Yeah, they can technically still be on your insurance.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But if you gonna be doing some college or you gonna be doing something.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be doing what you want and living under my roof at 25 until 25. It's not happening. It's not happening. But next in the news.
Blaming me like.
So have you heard the whole thing about Rick Ross and D1 and they little beef got going on?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Yeah. Rose.
Mm-hmm.
But no. So D1 is a artist, and he said some things on a Sway interview, and I'll just play what he said.
I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Cause are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light? Which one is it, bro? Which one is it, bro? Cause I did a shoe giveaway in my city and gave out 1,300 pairs of your shoes because they said reform underneath them. And I love that you partnered with a major shoe company and you out here pushing prison reform. But now I got to sit here like, man, this man glorifying getting people killed as of a week ago. Like, what are you doing, bro? Lil Snoop really got killed.
So, obviously, you say something like that. You know, Rick Ross, he going to respond to something to everybody.
Yeah.
And then, but the point is, he brings up a really good point because how can you say you love the community and you do all these things for the community, but you also feed their brains with toxic material?
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, Rick Ross, he gonna respond, and so he responded with this.
You could do better, Jim Jones. You could do better, Rick Raw. You could do better. I gotta see you do better. Wait. Little man, whoever you is, until you feed the kids where you from for 20 years straight. Don't question Rose. Wait. Until you buy 10,000 bikes, 10,000 trikes. Give all the young girls who pregnant Pampers for Christmas for 20 years straight. Don't question boss. You heard me, little man? Get that basket off your head so you could think clear, little man. You going viral for speaking on niggas' names, not because of your talent, not because of your gift. Go viral, player, off of your wisdom that you sharing. You speaking on Meek Mill. Boy, you know how many niggas died this summer? They released self-destruction. This niggas dying right now. It's gonna be niggas don't make it to see in the morning. Get that basket off your head, boy, and come together with real niggas around the world. So when your grandma need a kidney, nigga.
So I was just gonna say in response, not like I'm responding, but if anybody remember, I guess Rick Ross forgot that Nino Brown. Nino Brown gave out turkeys too. But guess what? In case you forgot, Nino Brown was the villain, dude. He was the villain. Just because he gave out turkeys, it don't matter how many trikes and bikes you give out. When you made your way in life on selling dope, and then made more on selling the toxic poison of mentality into youth, it don't matter how many diapers and how many bikes you give out to the people when you're still feeding into the next children, into their children, the toxic mentality.
Yeah. Like feeding them poison and giving them a pacifier.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say that and then in the episode, but D1 had a response.
Rick Ross! First of all, I love you, brother, and I want you to know that because you sounded a little upset in your video reply to me, but I love you too much to not be honest with you, and right now you're deflecting. I was talking about your lyrical content, and you talking about turkeys. I'm talking about you as a hip-hop OG still glorifying murder and drug dealing in your music, and you talking about turkeys? Bro, more people are streaming your music than eating your turkeys. You can believe that, brother. Oh, then you can make fun of my accent and my hair, brother. That's lightweight, you hear me? What am I doing to help my community? Well, my whole adult life, I've been a middle school teacher. Now I'm a full-time hip-hop artist. Just dropped my 10th album. It's called Uno. You should check it out, actually. I've helped to give out hundreds of thousands of dollars in college scholarships for students around this country. Done financial literacy tours year after year, brother. Shoe drives, toy drives, voter registration rallies, prison ministry. I'm currently a professor at Tufts University teaching the intersection of hip hop and social change, and I'm a fellow at Harvard University. Ultimately, I'm just trying my best to do God's work in this industry, bro. Then you said, won't I go viral with my own content? Brother, you're a little late to the party. I've been successful for a while, man, and not having to glorify the things that's harmful to our community. Could you do that? I'm curious. Bro, I work with some of the same artists as you. The Game, Lupe, Big Crit, Juvenile, Manny Fresh, Currency, Kevin Gates, Sway, Charlamagne. These people know me, man. So as black men, let's do our best to do God's work and not glorify what's holding us down, man.
See? And this is what gets me is we'll still have people in the community trying to support Rick Ross.
It's because Rick Ross developed his fame off of like impersonation of characters that's made to tear people down. Like how he presented himself.
Mm-hmm.
He presented himself as like a hero. Rick Ross is basically Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the rappers and stuff, they're Robin Hood.
Yeah.
They're people that still kill and go out and
Robin Hood took from the rich
and
gave to the poor.
Yeah.
That's not what Rick Ross and these other rappers are doing.
They are because they have like multi-million-dollar contracts and stuff to make these music to pour into.
Right. But Robin Hood was hurting the rich and helping the poor. That's not what these rappers are doing. These rappers are hurting the poor and making themselves rich. That's what they are. And then, I mean, I wasn't going to talk about it today, but they talk about how, like T.I., I've heard T.I. say it in multiple interviews where he says, we were refugees.
Mm-hmm.
Refugees are trying to seek safe haven.
Yeah.
You were not a refugee, bro. And I said, T.I., stop saying you was a refugee. You're not. You're a Hutu. Rick Ross, Hutu. Jay-Z, Reform Hutu. Jeezy, Reform Hutu. Tupac, President Hutu. Biggie, Vice President Hutu. Gucci Mane, Hutu. Should I go further? Kodak Black, Hutu. NBA Youngboy, Hutu. Lil Boosie, Hutu. You know what a Hutu is? Research. Stop saying you're a refugee. Stop saying you're doing something good for the community when you're tearing down their brains after you tore down their parents' body. You're a Hutu. You did what was best for you. And then everybody that pushed their music, you were the radio Hutus. Because that's how the Hutus got amped up to do what they did. Radio. Research. You're not a refugee. You're a Hutu. Oh, but D1 even he don't just talk about them. He called out Lecrae. And he's calling out everything that he can that he believes he sees it not to be right. Because Lecrae, what the issue was with Lecrae was selling like Cardi B shirts, and then when D1 spoke about it, he said that we can be Christian and ratchet, and D1 did not agree. And I think I got that one here, what he was talking about.
The Bible does not make room for ratchetness and righteousness. But black culture does. And hip hop culture does. It makes room to be ratchet and righteous. There's literally a popular, I saw Christians posting about that stuff. I'm righteous and ratchet. Man, well, forget y'all. We ain't on the same team because I'm real righteous and relevant. You heard me? That's what I am. I'm not righteous and ratchet. Like, what are y'all talking about? But black culture, I'm not pro-black more than I'm pro-God. And I don't care what black people think. You know what I'm saying? Am I black? Am I proud to be black? Yes. But I'm not pro-black more than I'm pro-God, man. Because being pro-black will allow for a bunch of foolish, ratchet behavior that in the name of blackness, we all celebrated.
That's D1. I hadn't heard about him till this week, but I'm definitely gonna listen to his new album. He said it's called Uno. I listened to like a little bit of for like half a minute while I was doing the research about him, but not pretty good. Those are my thoughts, though.
I don't know about that. And I have to say because only because like I've like growing up, I studied like a lot with like African culture and just different things around like genocide, and it's a very sensitive and touching topic. So and I understand the comparison between, because it is a genocide, because we're almost killing ourselves with the way black
about it.
Well, with the way black culture is going, because black culture is a cancer.
Yeah,
it's detrimental to all of us, not just some of us, but all of us, even the successful ones. Whenever they do get into like a stance where they're successful, they always are reminded of what they did in order to get where they are. Even if they're pouring back and try to give back, they're still like villainized.
I wasn't villainizing them when I said that, though.
But
I said Jay-Z, when he's talking about change.
Yeah.
Jeezy talking about change. 50 Cent talking about change. When they talk about what they did in the past, they say that it was crazy. They say that it wasn't right.
Yeah.
That's why I said reform. When you made it, you did the things that you did, made it, and are still glorifying it like you was doing the right thing, that's when I find it to be a problem. You made it. Okay. Go back and affect the community. Okay. But don't say and glorify like D1 was saying. You glorifying the killing, the murder, and then you say something like I'm a refugee. You're not a refugee once you start picking up weapons to attack your own people. You're no longer a refugee. The Hutus, matter of fact, y'all look it up.
Yeah.
They were a product of what Europe did to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But once they decided to pick up machetes, they were no longer refugees. That's like saying that all of those that were in the Third Reich were just doing their job. If that was the case, then we wouldn't have had all of the war crimes being tried in on the world court. The Hutus would have not been tried for war crimes.
Yeah.
I get it. That's where you were. That was the environment that you were in.
Mm-hmm.
You still have a choice. There's still a choice. And when you choose to do the wrong thing and you try to justify it, that's why I have the problem. Because you can't just say that that's who I was as a product of my environment. So you can't think about anything. So maybe you need to be under the conservatorship because you can't identify what's right and what's wrong. If you can make an excuse for it, you know what? Take your money, go put yourself under conservatorship. Because you can't reason between right and wrong. All you can say is, I was a product of my environment. I was a refugee. So you're gonna say you didn't make any choices knowing the right and the wrong? If you can't do that, get yourself a conservatorship.
Yeah.
Well, somebody gonna unsubscribe?
Okay. And then, like, and I understand that part. I'm just leave it alone. Because, but when it comes to Christian rap, Kirk Franklin started all that.
I saw something also that they were selling alcohol at a Kirk Franklin concert. Saw like
champagne.
I don't know.
Alcohol.
Yeah, I saw it as I was scrolling.
Because a lot of people, they don't have a problem with.
I also know of another church that were talking about investing into cannabis. That was pretty interesting when I was at that service.
Mm-hmm. I know it made my eyes go up like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
But these are things of the earth.
Yeah.
And God has provided us with these things. So there's that argument too.
That's gonna have to be a debate we have in heaven. At the gate. Like, hey, he gonna tell us whether we were right or wrong at the gate.
But
when he gonna open up that book of life, he gonna tell us.
Because people would say, Jesus turned water into wine, right?
Exactly.
So, and then it says you can drink it just as long as you're not like drunken.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know the answer to those two.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to. Some questions we're gonna have to save till we get to heaven, and be standing outside them pearly gates. And you open up that book, be like, "Am I on the guest list?" We're gonna find out eventually.
Oh man!
But that's all I got to talk about today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touchy.
Yeah. I don't know. We pretend like we are.
I'm
like
with you
unknowing. We act like we don't understand the difference between right and wrong. The truth. We consistently hide our eyes and cover our ears for the things that we don't want to actually admit. Because if I have to admit it, that means I gotta change. And nobody likes change. I'm your boy, Mr. Define.
Let me go.
And we are Black Press.